Hey, what's up, guys? So now it's officially around 2 weeks into taking Primobolan on top of my testosterone cycle, and I've started with like say around here, which was around 400 testosterone, and then brought the Primobolan up to around 75%, and now I'm bringing that up to match that at now, which is great and all. Like that's what it should be, but the price of Primobolan is pretty expensive. I'm starting to feel the effect on that on my wallet, especially excuse me, when I just bought today my first kit of HGH, which should arrive in a few days. And the kit of HGH is 10 vials of 12 IUs, so 120 IUs, right? And what I plan to do is 6 IUs a day, which works out to 20 days. So not a long time, considering I'm paying like $200, just over $200 for. Okay, which I think is a good price because before, when I actually, if you followed my channel for some time, I actually did do legit HGH that was pharmaceutical grade, and it was a lot more than that. Okay, so like I couldn't afford that now. Like on my current routine, which is the testosterone, I'm paying like $80 a vial for. The Primobolan, which is over $100 for, and then the kit, which is over 200 for a few weeks. So something's got to change in that regard. Well, I could technically do it, but it's pushing the bank account a little too hard, especially the next round of HGH, which I want to continue doing. Like you're not just going to do 120 IUs and then just call it quits, right? It's something you do over time. So what am I going to prioritize here, and how am I going to make this work? And I think I figured out the answer. So first of all, I'm getting the testosterone cypionate for $80 for 250 milligrams per milliliter. So that's like 2,500 milligrams in total. But what I found is a new source on that, which I'm going to use on the testosterone testing kits that I have. So every time, again, if you have a new source, I recommend testing it, and I'm sure it'll be fine because a lot of the UGLs, underground labs, are pretty legit these days. And if you know that the underground lab, if you test one, the most likely that the others are going to be good. You know what I mean? So say you get Mastron from the same site, or Primobolan from the same site. Chances are, even though sometimes those Primobolan can be faked a lot of time, the chances are that those are going to be legit after that. And my last source, sure enough, it was, and that's what I've been doing. But again, going back to what I'm originally stating here, is that I need to cut down the price. So I'm thinking about getting this testosterone cypionate for this new source for $25 for the vials, and continue with the Primobolan at over 100, because that's just kind of the combination that I want to do for this blast cycle, just the way it is. And then and then also add on top of that the HGH. So if I can do that, if I can cut down at least the price on the testosterone, that would be great. So that's what I need to do, because otherwise, I'm not gonna say it's totally unfeasible, but it will be like very difficult, and it'll take away from my other needs, which is food. Food is the most important thing before even compounds, that you're eating well and things, and I want to make sure I'm eating well, right? So my dog's just going crazy in the kitchen. He thinks maybe he just heard me talk about food. That's why he's going crazy. Hey, be quiet over there. Come over here. So there's that. The second thing is I changed my dosage. I brought it up from 125 milligrams split between three times in a week, So 125 between 3 is 250 plus 125 is 375 of testosterone a week. Now I'm bringing up to the 450 mark, which is a considerable step. Also considering that I had beginning stage of gynecomastia. But the thing is, since I've added the Primo, the gynecomastia is, I want to say non-existent, but it's decreased a lot. And the only kind of estrogenic effects on that regard is my nips kind of got a bit swollen. Like the tip of them was just like, bing. I don't know how else to put it, but that's exactly what it is. And since taking the Primabone in now 2 weeks, I think it's gone down a little bit. But again, I'm gonna titrate that Primabone, bring it up to 1-to-1 ratio of the testosterone I'm taking, which is going to take a hit on my wallet again, but I feel it's necessary. And but the thing is, though, the estrogenic effects are actually showing that it's doing what you want to do. You just don't want the estrogenic effects to exceed a certain amount. And the reason why is because when you add the HGH to it, the estrogen helps with the IGF, the HGH IGF conversion, and helps utilize the IGF-1, the insulin growth factor 1 in the body to have its anabolic effect. And isn't that what we want? I think so. And I think around that 6 IUs a day will be a good super physiological dose of the HGH, because if I took less than that, like some people only take 2 or 3 or 4 a day, which is fine for therapeutic effect. Great. It's better than nothing. So, and especially at a certain age when you're not producing it, like for anti-aging effects. But when you're taking it alongside the androgenic compounds, it actually has a symbiotic effect, and it actually has a utilizes everything gets utilized a lot better from my research. If you have other research that suggests otherwise, please leave in the comment section below. But again, the testosterone plus Primabone at a 1-to-1 ratio, which the Primabone helps mitigate the estrogenic effect, and then you add the HGH, which the estrogen that is there at that right ratio helps then with the anabolic effect of all compounds together. And you don't want to crush estrogen because it's necessary for bone composition, for neurological properties, for even some certain mood properties, like for sexual things as well. So it's not like you just want to eliminate estrogen from the system. So again, that's where I want to leave it on that regard. What do you guys think about that? The last thing is I got these new syringes, which are 22 gauge as opposed to 23 gauge. And I find those are very much better, even in some regards, as far as dosing multiple compounds. Because when you try to draw through the syringe, the 23 gauge syringe, the testosterone in the Primabone, which is a thicker kind of, it's a oil, right? The carrier oil. It's very difficult to do so when you're drawing it in. Now you can exchange needles to do so, which some people do. But I find that the 22 gauge is a lot easier to first draw, but then administer. But here's the catch. It's good in the glutes, but not so much in the deltoid. And I like to inject in the deltoid. So when I'm injecting the glutes, I'll probably still use the 22 gauge unless the PIP is too much, or I'm noticing that there's too much like scar tissue buildup or something like that, which I really don't think that's going to happen. In the glutes, the 22 gauge, boom, you just harpoon it and inject. It's super easy, super fast, easy, as well as pulling it. Like you can pull through 22 gauge all of the solution into it, super easy. The 23 gauge, it's like very difficult. I'm sure some of you guys listening understand this. It's very difficult to pull that carrier oil through the 23 gauge. Injecting it, you get a little bit more pressure when you're pushing the syringe, but again, it's more difficult. So I kind of prefer the 22 gauge, even though I tried to inject that in my Delta today, and that was like trying to stab yourself. Like, it was very difficult, more so than a 20. That's just my impression. I tried it. I was like, boom. Oh, no, I couldn't do it. I pulled out. It was like too painful. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to inject a mass. Boom. No problem. So I wanted to say that. The last thing is about the HGH, which is this. I said I was going to do 6 IUs a day. Now, okay, that could be split up a number of ways. First of all, you could just do 12 IUs, which is a full vial in one night, or split twice through the day, and then you have a day off, which I don't want to do. I don't think that's a good option. The second thing is you do 6 IUs one time at night every day. And the last thing is you split the 6 IUs, well, not the last thing, but 3 in the morning, 3 at night, or 2 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, 2 at night. And the way you could do that is you have the insulin syringe, which I would just do. I would do the HGH separate from my other compounds. Some people do it all in the same needle, but a lot of the time when they do that, they're injecting every day. If I was to inject every day, the testosterone and shit, then you can add the HGH to that. But I'm doing the testosterone and primobolan every other day. So I don't want to do HGH every other day. So I'm going to have a separate insulin needle for that, and draw out the full needle with the hydrostatic water to make a full needle's worth of a full vial's worth, essentially. And then I can do half in the morning, half at night. Or I might, we'll see how it measures out, but maybe it's like a half needle, and then do half of that. So a quarter needle in the morning, quarter needle at night. But it's still going to be the full vial solution in the end of the day, right? So that's where my head is at tonight. I want a lot of the time when I'm making these videos, it's to share with you guys and to hear a response, but it's to document my journey along the way, because sometimes I look back on these videos like a few months, and then I learn from it. I forget some of these things. I forget where my head was at when I'm approaching these things. So that's where it's at now. But I really truly believe, based on my research, and I don't have anecdotal evidence to back this up, to be honest, but it's just the way it is, that the 400 to 450 around, that which I'm doing now, the testosterone 450, primobolan, and 6 IUs of growth hormone a day. Well, 6 IUs of growth hormone a day, but the 450 would be in the week of the other 2 compounds, so split between the week 3 times. I really believe that's going to be a good combination. And without the growth hormone, and with only being on the primobolan 2 weeks, I think I'm seeing some great results just from testosterone. But again, just doing straight 450 testosterone, especially when you're first time and with some type of body fat on you, probably not the best idea. So that's my warning to you guys on that one. And unless you want some swollen lips and some man boobs, then go for it. Anyway, I'll leave it there, guys. Thanks for watching. Like always, leave in the comment section below any comments, criticisms, or anything, questions, anything that you want to say. Leave in the comment section below. Peace.